Welcome back to the Dash Block Podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and we're here to talk about all things fighting games and the fighting game community. As always, I can't do this on my own, so let me introduce you to my co-host, the first of which is out there protecting the youth from their greatest enemy, themselves, and 4 inches of water. My boy Mad Mouse. Say what's up to the people.
What's up? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, man, you're out here protecting the youth, teaching the kids how to swim.
Oh, yeah.
That's your job, right?
I forgot what my day job was. What's up?
This man is a fucking crime lord, fucking kingpin over here.
Hey man, we don't. I'm here for the fighting games. You know, I'm not a water fighter as what we're called in the business, like a firefighter. Anyway, on to the next co-host.
All right, yeah. So my next co-host is brand spanking new to the fighting game community. Never played a game before in his life. Arxyn, what do you got to say about that, sir?
Yeah, I'm totally green. I've never heard of a cross-up.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Do you know what a dash block is?
Is that when, like, you fall over and then you can't get up?
No, that's a slip and brawl, I think.
We don't talk about that. But, yeah, so some good stuff has happened pretty recently. A lot of big stuff, actually. First of which, Tekken 8, February, Black History Month.
Yeah, big day for black people. I had a look at it. Man, oh man, that is a game.
It is a game. And, you are the Tekken guy. And you're also black. As am I.
And I'm in Atlanta. Like, ooh.
And you're in Atlanta. So it all works out. You got your power up.
Tekken 8's great, actually. I got into it like a week after launch. It is the most beginner-friendly Tekken yet. It's amazing to play. It's super fun. But, other than how great Tekken is, Tekken is Tekken, legacy skills always going to come into effect. We have this ongoing issue with what the community is calling is pluggers.
Hello, plugger.
Yeah, plug. It sounds, it like adding a ER to any word just automatically turns into a slur. And, it's very fitting because, these guys are just rage quitting. And like Harada being super open with the community on Twitter and like saying they're fixing it. But like a week ago, the top of the leaderboard was like filled with pluggers, rage quitters. Because, if I'm not going to win the fight, then we're not finishing the fight, right? The leaderboard's filled with those guys. And then they reset all of their rankings back down to beginner. And then a week later, same people, those same pluggers are back at the top of the leaderboards. It's kind of hilarious.
It sure does pay to be toxic.
It's wild because like Tekken is, as far as I know, because I think we had a similar issue in Tekken 7 where rage quitting was like a really big thing, a really huge issue. And I haven't really played a fighting game where there's like a 50% chance my opponent's going to rage quit. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's really bad in Tekken specifically. For whatever reason, Bandai Namco, like as a whole, like they do it in Tekken and they also do it in like Soul Calibur. If, the 5 people who bothered to play that online ranked, where if the match is disconnected, nobody loses their points. The only thing that happens is that any player with a win streak loses their win streak. So what you'll see is like people will come in and they'll see someone like, let's say a 10-game win streak, right? You have petty people who will just disconnect the match just so that person loses their win streak. It's gotten to the point in Tekken 8 specifically where like there's this super called a rage art. It's a super move. It's like a cutscene. You land it and you watch the cutscene where now there's tech to where if you're going to plug, you plug during your opponent's rage art if it's going to kill you, or you hit them with a rage art and then you plug during the animation. It is super toxic. But at the same time, like, the devs aren't really doing anything about it. Like, there are known pluggers. Like, there are people famous for rage quitting and cheating in Tekken. Either via bots. Yeah, like, they'll be via bot. Like, they're cheating via bots. Or they're pluggers. Or they're known rage quitters. And, like, they're famous for it. And, like, you got a whole list. And the community's, like, calling for ban. And they're just not doing anything about it. When, like you say, it, like Atlanta's like big on like Tekken, it's usually offline Tekken. Tekken's offline scene is a lot bigger than their online scene because the devs really don't do anything about the online scene.
Yeah, because every other match is fucking full of rage quitters.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about rage quitters?
Me personally, I love them. When I hit them with my Noctis combo, my B&B, when I press my 2 and kill somebody, it's great. I have no real plans of getting Tekken yet. I'm probably going to get it whenever there's like a DLC character that I'm interested in. And also, I'm not really that big into Tekken. I got into Tekken 7 kind of late.
Have you ever been introduced to Tekken, Arxyn?
I've played Tekken a bit. I played Tekken when I was younger. I just have fallen out of grace with it. I'm a bigger fan of traditional 2D fighters. Don't catch me sidestepping. No, sir, I don't do that.
About? Tekken is it. Tekken 7 was a super traditional fighting game. It had Akuma in it.
Yeah, and Geese.
And Geese. And Eliza.
And they were fair and balanced.
They were.
Yep.
My FADC cancels into TOD into plug.
Yeah. This is a very regular fighting game behavior. 10 out of 10 would play again.
Speaking of Akuma, you guys see that trailer?
Of course.
More of a teaser, but yeah, he was Akuma.
I mean, it was more of a teaser, but like you could say the word Akuma and the website formerly known as Twitter is going to lose their mind. Like some people are saying, I'm so glad the open beta for Street Fighter 6 is almost over.
Akuma's here. I'm more concerned with his lore because he's got like white hair now, and I guess they're going for like an Oni type deal.
I just
thought
Homie was getting old. I'm not even gonna lie.
He is also getting old, yeah.
Well,
what I'm most excited about is how they're going to implement him into World Tour, because the idea of Akuma using a cell phone is just so funny to me.
Maybe he communicates through like pigeon.
Nah, he's got an Alexa. He just talks to it.
He's plugged off just on the side of the stage, just never.
I bought this piece of technology because I thought it could make me stronger.
It's just so funny to me. Like I smashed through a lot of World Tour this past weekend, and like the characters in Street Fighter, they have a lot of character in them. Like this is a game where you teach Ryu how to use a cell phone, and they also explain whether or not Ryu's super rich or not. The lore in Street Fighter is really good.
Is he rich?
He is. He just doesn't know it. Not to go super in depth,
yeah, because Ken handles all his like financing and stuff, right?
Ken set up an account for him to like for anybody who gives him money, because Ryu goes to a fighting tournament, he wins the prize money, and he leaves before they give him the prize money. Yeah. So Ken just puts it all into one account, and Ryu thinks he's poor because like he'll still work and do like odd jobs to like make money in whatever country he's in. But he also has a black card for when that doesn't work out for him. And the only real thing Ryu does when he goes to another country is learns 2 phrases. The first phrase being, "Where can I find a good fight?" And the other phrase being, "Hey, where can I find something to eat?"
So what you're telling me is Ryu doesn't do his taxes.
He doesn't do his taxes, but Ken does his taxes, which is really confusing considering Ken's on the run in Street Fighter 6. But hey, what are you going to do?
Hey man, Ken's got TurboTax on his phone.
That's right.
And the Masters Foundation doesn't need to pay taxes. They're rich white people. Come on.
That is true, yeah. What's a tax? But you know who else is rich in Street Fighter? You already know. The one with the private jet. Yes, sirree.
The private jet you fight on top of.
Yep, the coolest stage in Street Fighter 5.
It is. It's too bad it's tournament banned because weaklings get like motion sick or whatever.
Motion sick. Yeah. Fucking, come on now. But
you know
what else happened in February? And since we're on the topic of Street Fighter, we might as well bring it up. I guess
some VTuber guy became a millionaire.
Yeah, some VTuber simp named Uma became a fucking millionaire. Well, not really, because adding tax, so it's more like.
I mean, yeah,
$800,000 millionaire. But
it's super funny.
It's still pretty big though.
After he won that, like the biggest fighting game tournament of that year, he ended up being invited to the Red Bull Kumite, an invitational fighting game tournament, and he turned down. He turned down an invitation to one of like the most prestigious Street Fighter like events so that he could celebrate his birthday watching the VTuber he likes a lot because they're having an event around his birthday in the Red Bull Kumite.
Fucking like 3 days later, he donated like $1,000 to that
he donated
VTuber.
Like 1,000.
So this money's fucking gone. It's gone.
His money.
He's already lost it all.
Imagine, like maybe we should get into VTubing. Just in case one of our fans becomes a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because like she had a stream thanking him. And like in that stream, he donated a bunch of that money to her. Oh, it was hilarious.
And it's funny because in an upset, I didn't expect this, but fucking he played jury and ended up winning the entire tournament, which is kind of crazy because early on in Street Fighter 6's life, people thought that jury was like super, super good.
Yeah, she is super, super good. It's just that in the patch, this current patch and the patch that they were playing in, being super, super good wasn't on the same level as being Luke, Ken, or JP. JP was 2 easy conversions away from being a Marvel character. Ken could turn off his brain, and any stray hit he hit you with, he could combo off of it. And Luke had the best God button I've ever seen. Yeah, he had a gun, and he had the best. Luke had the best has the best projectile, had the best God button, had easy crazy damage. Jury and DJ are both really good characters, but if you're not Luke, JP, or Ken, you might as well not be in the tournament, you know? I watched Capcom Cup finals all the way through. When people were getting knocked out of the round table, like they just weren't able to get into the top 16, they would swap to other characters. We had a Manon play, we had a Kimberly in there, and we had a Lily in there, in fact. And like people would not have played those characters if they didn't think they had a chance to actually win the 1 million.
I want to go on like a brief little tangent, right?
All right.
About Manon, funnily enough. It's not really about Manon. It's about, I guess, one of the former big like Street Fighter 5 players / is kind of big in Street Fighter 6. I've noticed that every time I see IDOM, not that he wasn't even in Capcom Cup, but every time I see this man playing Manon, he loses. And I just think it's so fucking funny.
And like the worst part is he's the best Manon. Hands down. It's not even in the question. He's the best one. It's a very similar thing I see with another grappler player, Ibiki the Beast. And the best grappler player, Snake Eyes.
Don't nobody care about Lily.
Everybody loves Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes got bodied in that tournament. No question. And like there was nothing you could do about it.
You know who didn't get bodied in that tournament? You know who got 3rd place in that tournament?
Tell me who got 3rd place.
Gachi-kun, the greatest Rashid player known to man. He's holding it down for the people.
Is he the greatest Rashid player?
Yeah, he got 3rd place in Capcom Cup. That's pretty fucking good.
I guess, but like...
In my eyes.
It is pretty good, but like, I don't know. I feel like Rashid is such a character, like you gotta know what your opponent's gonna do. And Gachi-kun just has that, he has that sense in him.
Yeah, he's been playing this shit since 2016.
Yeah.
I've noticed this probably like last week, right? I was slapping some Rashid stuff. And compared to Street Fighter 5, he is just overall better.
Yeah.
He lost really like 3 tools, really only 2 if you really want to count wall jump as a tool. And even then, he's still really good. And he's even more fleshed out than what he was in 5. He can basically do everything in 5, but better, more or less.
That seems to be the design philosophy behind Street Fighter 6 as a whole. You can say that about any returning character. And that's why I'm like super excited to see Akuma, because Akuma's always been one of the best characters in the game, whatever game he's in. But like, you can say that about Ken. Ken in Street Fighter 5 and in Street Fighter 4, he's better. He has more tools. He can do everything he could before, but better. You can say that about Luke in Street Fighter 5 going to 6. You can say that about Ryu, in fact. Ryu has an enhanced fireball
now.
Yeah, he has like some crazy strike throw mix. He can do things you would not think a Shoto should be able to be done. You know what I mean? But my favorite examples of this have to be hands down Lily standing in for T-Hawk, because it went from, I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. T-Hawk is fun if you're a grappler player, but like fighting against them and watching them is the most boring thing ever. Right. And my other favorite example of this would have to be, DJ going from 4 to 6. DJ went from Guile, but worse, to a really fun rush down charge characters.
He got an entire overhaul though.
Okay. About a character that doesn't have an overhaul. Yeah, it counts. But a character who doesn't have an overhaul is Guile. Guile got 1 new special move, and he feels infinitely more engaged in the match.
Okay, but do we count that as a special move? Because it was in 5. It was his V skill.
It was his V skill in 5, but at the same time, there are matchups where you just wouldn't have that move. You know what I mean? Because you could pick your V skill. But at the same time, like, you fight a Guile who plays like a Street Fighter 4 Guile or Street Fighter 5 Guile even, and you shit on them because they're not doing anything. You have to be engaged with the character for the character to be good, you know? You don't want to count that 1 special move. We can count Cammy. Cammy has everything she could have done in 5, and she's taken that and running with
on her hooligan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's really more options.
That was a V skill. That was a V trigger. Like, that hooligan? Just seems to be the design. Yeah, it was.
Or her charged, like, her charged specials.
Her charged specials are her V trigger, and then, like, her combination was a V skill.
I could have sworn it was a...
Spin Knuckle was a V skill.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but like, you know, like, they take what you had before, they get rid of the bits nobody really liked dealing with, and they add more to it. Like, Street Fighter 6 is better than Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, no reason to play Street Fighter 5. Unless I really want to play
Ed's in 6 now, and Akuma's coming, so like, yeah, there might not be a reason.
Okay, since you're already yapping, and I know you're looking forward to this, since you've been boo-hooing about this since launch, and when's Ed coming out? When's Ed coming out? He's out. He's been out for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks. And well, my first thought is it took me 4 or 5 months to even get news about Ed, and 2 weeks after Ed drops, Akuma's already like, "Hey, he's coming."
Yeah, my favorite Ed moment was when the start of the new year, Capcom dropped a fucking Akuma picture instead of Ed. Like they just forgot this nigga was coming.
Like they forgot he was gonna be a character. I think Ed's sick. They're really pushing for him to be the boxer Street Fighter 6 to the point where like he has no kick buttons whatsoever. And even when you go into like World Tour and you use his style, none of his moves count as kicks. They're all punches. They all go off your punch strength. I think he's in this really weird spot. He's such a unique character in this game because he doesn't function off the same template as other characters do. By that I mean like the template for a Street Fighter character is usually a Shoto. Not necessarily Ryu, but a Shoto. Like crouching heavy punch being your anti-air, crouching medium kick being, the button you can convert into either via special move or drive rush. But Ed's different, like a lot of, he doesn't have an overhead at all. He's like very strike throw heavy, and he's this weird mix of rush down and like mid-range zoner. They took his V skill from 5, and they made it a special move, same as they've done with other characters. He can snatch you in, he's still plus, but it counts as a projectile and no longer breaks armor. So you can impact straight through it, you can parry it, and it'll kill the suction on the, the pull effect on it.
Yeah, just gets rid of the whole strike throw mix of it.
But yeah, so he's still plus. It's a very similar thing that happened with Rashid. He's better, he's stronger than I guess you could say he was in 5, but the issue that a lot of longtime players who have played this character is having is that it's different. Like the things you thought would be there are all there, but you gotta readjust, you gotta realign, you gotta unlearn some of the things you had in the past. But other than that, I think he's a really strong character where he's good, but when he's in places where he's not strong, he is cooked. On top of that, he's a normal motion character now. So DP motion's going to do DP, Fireball is going to do a Fireball, all that good stuff. But like Rashid, if you let him get his damage, if you make a mistake and the Ed player knows what's up, you're going to get blown up for it.
I think Ed's in a I don't know. I don't know if he's strong. I think he's fine. Ed has been streamlined. And I guess he was always streamlined straightforward. And that hasn't changed from 5 to 6. You're still going to find Eds that are fucking doing Psycho Knuckle from full screen, except this time I can drive impact it and kill you for it.
Yeah. It's streamlined from both sides.
Yeah. And because he doesn't have any real mix and he is primarily just strike throw, you can just get away with holding crouch block and nothing's really going to happen. You have really nothing to be worried about until he starts charging flicker. And when he starts charging flicker, you can either perfect parry or hold it, I guess, because he's plus 4 base.
It turns into Ed just being able to do shit and you having to deal with it, or Ed being able to react. Because it used to be to get Ed's EX moves, Ed would hit you with a move and then the follow would be the EX version if he wanted it to or not, right? Now he can't do that anymore. So now it's more so like, I don't like using this term a lot, but like when you're playing against Ed, you're playing rock, paper, scissors a lot. Instead of it being like mini games, as someone like Punk would put it, you're playing a lot more rock, paper, scissors. Every interaction you have with Ed outside of neutral is just straight rock, paper, scissors. On your wake up, you can do one thing that's going to beat one thing that he can do, right? And if you decide to say wake up and parry and he decides to flicker, it cancels out. You both just pick scissors, right? So now you're back in neutral. He's the most RPS character in the game right now, which is why I think like he's good when you're like on it, but like when he's bad, it feels like you're not able to even play the game.
Yeah, once you get a good read on Ed and figured him out, it's kind of like a straightforward. Right, like you get him in the corner. He has all the same options as like a Shoto. You can wake up DP, you can parry, whatever. And it's really nothing to worry about. I'd say he really does succeed in the mid range, which is really fucking annoying because his kicks, especially standing medium kick, that fucking flicker is so
the flicker
annoying.
Bunch.
It's got long range and it's special cancelable.
It's actually not. It's actually not special cancelable. Well, the first hit is.
But you can drive rush
typically. Yeah, you can drive.
Well, yeah. If you don't do the target combo, like.
Yeah, once the second hit of the target combo comes out, you can blow him up. You can just drive impact it. It's weird because
like that good in the mid range in 5. I remember him being like a lot more rush down heavy.
His crouching light kick was one of the best in the game. It was a dash check. Instead of a drive rush check in 6, you had a dash check. Really good at checking people's dash. You could combo into it, like his DP really easily off of it. The issue with it in 6, it's a drive rush check. His standing light kick, the downward flicker, it reaches really far, and it's a drive rush check. But it's also really susceptible to whiff punish. Like, his hurt box is extended for so much longer than it might feel like. A lot of Ed stuff looks a lot safer than what it is. And that's why I say, like, he's not, like, if you figure him out, he's cooked. Like, if you see it come out and he whiffs it, you can whiff punish it super easily. Because he can't throw out another one that fast.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay him or nothing. I just find it really funny that the boxer of the game has the worst jab in the game, hands down.
Have you seen that fucking Twitter clip of an Ed mashing light punch in front of a Honda, just not connecting?
I saw one of a Blanca, and like the fist is going through Blanca's face.
It's going through his fucking face.
Like, and this is right after they buffed Aki's jab, who had the same jab as Ed had. The worst part is, like, the jab wouldn't be that egregious if he could special cancel out of his light crouching punch, but he can't. You have to cancel it into a standing version for it to work. So what I've been having trouble with lately is, like, I'll do light because it'll reach further, and then I'll try to link it into like a standing light punch, and it'll just whiff, and I get blown up for that. I say this and I go, I realistically think, like, he doesn't need it. It would be really nice. You give Ed a jab and he might be as good as, like, maybe maybe Ken. He might be as good as Ken. You give Ed a jab, he can convert off anything. I feel like it would be nice because he doesn't have an overhead. Anytime someone slips up, catch him with a low, watch your toes.
I mean, he already has decent pokes already. And I mean, his standing heavy punch is pretty solid.
His standing heavy punch is as good as Ken's.
Yeah.
He can get the world off of that.
I wish Rashid had that shit. I wish I could shimmy in the corner and press standing heavy punch from a fucking back.
I wish I had a level 2 that let me just shut down the gameplay.
Oh, shut up, nigga. God damn. I worked hard for that. All right.
How much hard work did you do, Jay? What exactly did you do in that?
I did quarter circle back twice. And yeah, man, I had that oil money. Look, and again, you can invalidate fucking Yasar with parry for the most part. Then just can strike throw mix. I like having my 30-30-30 mix up, my high-low throw mix up.
Yeah, you just said you can really do that in the corner. It becomes a 3-way mix up. Like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's not a problem on a character built around mix ups.
I mean, if you parry, then it becomes just a regular 50-50 strike throw. But if you really, it's only throw.
If I block, I lose my.
I only
have
one fucking.
There's so much to think about in this game. You're just trying to shut it all down.
Yeah,
it's not like the humble Marissa player
who one motion.
Yeah, it's not like the humble Marissa player who really only needs to worry about you not blocking for a second.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that Marissa player?
I forgot he was a Marissa player.
Yeah, stop blocking. It's good for you. Take your hits. It'll make you stronger.
I will say that Marissa's damaging is a lot less annoying than like Honda's drive meter depletion. You get hit by headbutt, you lose a whole bar. Safely away from you after you block it, like it's nah.
I hope the perfect parries are good.
Hope you know how to DP on reaction.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Ed, Mr. Arxyn, Street Fighter connoisseur? Not an Ed yet?
He's not cool.
He's not cool. You're right.
He's still here. He's not cool, and his theme still sucks.
But have you fought an Ed yet?
I plead the fifth.
Crickets.
Okay.
Crickets.
I mean, I will say his theme is a bit better. I don't hate it. You know, it's better because it's in a different language. I think that's really the good part. Not Rashid's theme, but, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. Good old German.
Wait, Rashid's theme in 6?
Yeah.
You mean Royalty Fury Jazz?
Yeah.
Nah, Rashid's theme in 5 goes hard, goated.
I mean,
Rashid's theme in 5 is great, but like 6, I forget that's his theme. I be thinking that's the stage theme. Like it's no personality to it. Like
it's jazz. I don't know what you want from it.
You know what I want? I want jazz on the level of Ryu's theme. I gotta get hyped up.
That's what Rashid's theme is.
It's not hype.
It is hype.
Rashid's only hype.
Final round, the fucking trumpets? Come on now. Come on.
You're not gonna sell me on this.
Nah, whatever, nigga. Anyway, moving on. EVO 2024's lineup has been revealed. I think like last month, right? Or was it the month before?
It was revealed last month, and they showed the signups for the amount of people signing up for it this month, actually.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. And MK1 has less signups than KOF, which is really hilarious.
It is really funny. But for the lineup, we got the usual suspects. I don't think there's really anything on here that's super surprising. We got Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat, Grand Blue, Fantasy Versus, Rising, Supreme Plus, whatever, King Fighters 13, and Under Night 2, and we also have Street Fighter 3. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, but
Hold on. It's 13 and not 15?
Actually, no, it's 15. My bad. I just wrote.
I was about to say, like, we have 2 classic games?
Yeah, no, it's 15. My bad.
I had to do a double take.
Yeah, no, it's 15. It's 15. But I mean, I feel like it's about as standard as it can get, right? We got the anime fighter for the year. I think the big surprise is Strive not being on here, unless I'm mistaken. No, Strive is on here. Then it's about the same as it's always been.
Yeah, Grand Blue's not taking Strive's spot. Because Strive's still getting updates.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, there's not really much to say besides MK1's going to be a snooze fest, and Street Fighter 3 is definitely going to be interesting to watch. I always love watching the classic game at EVO. Because last year was Marvel, right?
Yeah.
I cannot
Even then, that was kind of a snooze fest, though.
Yeah, but this year we're going to be able to watch. We're going to be able to watch huge classics such as Chun-Li in the corner spamming heavy punch and Makoto winning off one grab. Like, I can't wait.
The classic.
My favorite grappler is Makoto.
When was the last year that like an Evo lineup was really good? Because this year is just same as always. Like, I would be surprised at Uni, but
it was the year it got canceled due to COVID.
2020?
Yeah.
But they had Evo
Online,
Skullgirls. Right? Is that the one where Skullgirls? Yeah.
Had Skullgirls and Uni in it.
I think they had them fighting herds, I think. Let me double check.
Yeah. We should actually cover that. Have you guys seen the updates for them's fighting herds and Dragon Ball Fighters?
Yes, I forgot.
I haven't seen the one for Fighters.
So Fighters recently got rollback, and I think crossplay, and it's been a fucking nightmare. Imagine broken the game.
Announcing rollback, not saying anything for like 1 to 2 years, and having a rollback beta that works really well, ending that beta after a week, releasing it on like a random day, and then that rollback update breaks the game completely.
Like, we're talking models are just being duplicated on the fucking
Arxyn.
screen.
Every time a keyframe for a model happens, it would just be stuck on the screen. Let's say you do like Baby Vegeta's level 3, right? Where he turns into a golden ape.
Right.
You move to the middle of the screen, the golden ape is just T-posing in the middle of the match. And like the characters are behind it.
Sounds like a feature, not a bug.
A feature?
Like, bro, somebody on Twitter was like, I mean, realistically, we would see so many after images in the fight that this is what it would be looking like to us. Like, I saw a clip. It was hilarious, right? It was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta mixing somebody up in the corner. And as the guy was being mixed up, the models were staying there. So you literally could not tell which one was real.
Oh, yeah. And he got hit with like a high-low, right?
Yeah, he got hit with a high-low.
Yeah.
Like I said, feature, not bug.
Them's Fight Herds was probably just as... No, well, not as bad. God, no, the game's still playable.
No, it's worse. Them's Fighting Herd is worse.
Well, because they released 2 DLC characters, and one of them's just straight up broken.
It's not just
the devs got fired.
In Fighters, all the wacky stuff is likely only really gonna happen in spectator mode, right? So you can still play the game somewhat. In Them's Fighting Herds, the final update has a character that has the handcuff glitch from like old Street Fighter 2. And what I mean by that is the handcuff glitch is something Gal could do where he would just do a sequence of buttons that would make it so their opponent could not play the game at all. Handcuffs, right? For characters that were already in the game, we have infinites in a game where there is an infinite prevention system.
I tried out that infinite, and that's just dummy easy. It's so easy. Fucking easy.
It's so easy. And like, it'd be one thing if like this update was like, oh, it's just the PC version. It's across all versions. Console version, the PC version. The Switch version has these problems.
And the worst thing about it is this is literally the final patch for the game. So this is just how it's going to be forever.
Yeah, the dev team got fired. Like, they got fired. They're cooked. And like, there's nothing you can really do about it because like, for the most part, it feels like a drop in the bucket. Like, because there's so many gaming layoffs this year. So many.
Yep. Shout out to Embracer Group, man. Shout out to them. I don't know if they had anything to do with it, but I'll blame them. So, Mr. Arxyn, you've been basically brand new to fighting games. What have you been learning in the past month?
I have been reborn. I am a new man. I have learned how to play things that aren't fighting games, and I gotta say, I'm unimpressed.
Scandalous. Traitorous, even.
Yeah, I need to come back. It might be time.
We can hop on Street Fighter right now if you want.
I'll do you one, but we can hop on your favorite game, Blaze Blue Central Fiction.
I'm not doing that.
I do enjoy some BlazBlue Central Fiction.
Yeah, I know you do. You know what we won't play? We won't play Koihime. We won't play Cross Tag. We won't play Street Fighter 5.
I like Cross Tag.
I like Cross Tag as well. We can hop on Persona.
Maybe we should play some Cross Tag.
You're right, Ryan. Cross Tag has Uni characters. It has Persona characters. Hey, it even has Ruby characters.
Play Uni. We can just play Uni. Uni 2 has rollback.
Nah.
Yeah, but how many times are we going to have chances to play Cross Tag? No one plays Cross Tag anymore.
For good reason.
I play Cross Tag.
And there's so many funny interactions that totally don't get old. Like Adachi Gordo, block for 10 minutes. It's my favorite.
The Venom in that For Good Reason was so hilarious. Like, he's gritting his teeth. He's got a vein popping out of his forehead.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's about time to start wrapping things up. There's one more thing I want to hit on the show notes before we leave y'all. Actually, I think this is very pertinent to Arxyn because he's a big Arxys fan, I guess, if you even want to call him that. I like to call him a fraud, but
yeah.
So a new Strive character has been teased for Arc Revo finals. I don't know when it is, but who do y'all think it is?
It's either Venom or Dizzy.
I want it to be Alba so bad.
Listen, everyone wants it to be ABA. Me personally, I want fucking Ghost Man. Zappa. I want Zappa in the game. Zappa should be in there, but we're not allowed to have setups, so.
But I really don't want it to be Venom because if it were Venom, they would have to kill the character. We already have Jacko doing what Venom would do, dumbed down. Really want it to not be Venom.
He's been baking bread. He's rusty. He's not going to fight the same.
Yeah, let the gay man make his gay robot bread, bro.
I was actually thinking about this a couple days ago, right? Looking at the Strive roster, there's really nothing crazy. The vanilla roster, there's only a handful of new characters returning. I guess
hold on, nothing crazy. There's a guy playing a card game.
No. I'm talking about in the base roster, right? So in the base roster, we had the Guilty Gears, right? Chip. Pot, Soul, all that good stuff. All right, we had Leo come back, Ram come back. The only big shakeups were Anji coming back, and I guess that's really it. Right?
Yeah,
everyone else you could kind of expect, right? I kind of figured Leo would come back. I figured Ram would come back, but it's been pretty.
It might
safe.
be Raven,
maybe. But I'm thinking, okay, people want it to be ABBA, which is cool.
We got Bridget back, is why I'm saying it could be ABA.
Yeah, it could be. But I mean, who else on the roster would be interesting enough to come back?
Cliff.
Right? Because
that's about it. It's Cliff and ABA.
Yeah.
Well, Cliff is dead.
Yeah,
Cliff's not coming back. No amount of writing is going to bring Cliff back. Sorry.
Because they brought Elfeld back and they changed her. Because all the new characters are good.
Robo-Kai could come back.
Keep dreaming.
That silhouette's not Robo-Kai at all.
It's not.
Yeah,
we can cope.
Robo-Kai.
It could be ABA off the silhouette, but if you're going purely off the silhouette, it could be ABA. It could be ABA, Venom, or Dizzy. I can't see anyone else fitting to that silhouette. I know they sometimes take key parts off of it, but no one else is fitting in there from the existing cast.
I cannot put into words the anger I'm going to have if they build up this hype over a silhouette and it's just the Chinese Kung Fu lady. I do not want it to be Jam.
I don't want
They're
it to be
building
Jam
up
either.
all this hype and having us look at this silhouette and it's just Jam with her hair down. I'm going to be angry. And I don't even really play Strive like that. I'm going to be pissed.
I don't know. I don't know who it could be, and I'm really trying to think of someone that'd be interesting. Zap will be cool. ABBA will be kind of cool, but doesn't ABBA... Because I didn't play her in Plus R. Isn't she more or less like Nago?
We really need Dizzy in the state of the game right now. Everything Dizzy can do, you can get within another character. The different aspects you like about Dizzy, you can find in a different character. I
just want it to be a new character. Because like I said before, all the new characters are great, right? Nago's great. Gio's kind of lame.
They wouldn't put a new silhouette out if it was a new character. Because the whole point is for people to guess who it is.
Oh, they would. I think they did. Well, they didn't do it for... They did it for Asuka in Happy Chaos, I think.
No, they didn't. Did they?
Or wait, Happy Chaos got revealed at...
Happy Chaos got revealed.
Happy Chaos got revealed at Evo.
Asuka's not a new character. Asuka's a returning character. It's just he's never.
Asuka is a new character. That he counts as a new character. Don't do that. Don't be like that. He's a new character.
Because people know what his silhouette is like. That doesn't count. You know what I mean? If it's a brand new character.
Okay, fine. I think it should be the thick vice president from the story.
I believe her name is Erica.
Yeah.
What if it's Answer?
What if it's the president? That'd be kind of cool.
President's bald.
He's not much of a fighter.
He's got a Mega Man
It
arm.
could be Answer. Hold on, it could be Answer.
Why?
I really hope it's not Answer.
I hope it's Answer because that'd be a weird pick. Because who the fuck plays
pick.
Answer?
Nobody played Answer in Exard.
I'm just thinking of if it is a returning character. The reason why I want it to be a new character is that they can actually be like interesting, but they add a returning character, they're gonna be gutted in some way. They kind of did it with Sin. Biken was like only one that's really more or less the same.
But Biken's like super simple.
Yeah, they only got rid of her like.
The only thing they really needed to bring back was Tatami. Like Tatami had to stay at least super similar to what it is.
Elfelt got like an entire rework, which is kind of cool.
So did Jacko.
Kind of. Well, Jacko was more gutted, if anything.
Yeah.
Bedman.
That's why I don't want it to be Venom. If I'm playing Venom and I can have like 1 to 3 balls on screen at once, no. Like if I'm fighting a Venom, I have to be fighting for my life.
Once you get put in the corner, it's over.
Yeah, like I have to be fighting for my life. You know what we don't have in Strive? We don't have a character that like drains meter, do we?
No.
I feel like that.
I think one of Asuka's cards one of his spells can drain meter.
That'd be an interesting.
I know one of his. He can like recharge his shit by draining his own meter.
Yeah. No, like that. Because like it feels like a staple to anime games, right? And even Street Fighter has characters that drain meter.
Who the fuck drains meter in Street Fighter?
Not in 6. In 5, Jury drained meter.
Oh yeah, with their V trigger too.
Feng Shui. Yeah.
And in 4, I believe, in 5, Nash could also drain meter, and 4, Seth could, I believe. It just feels like a staple for anime type games. You know what I mean?
The only character that's like returning that hasn't been majorly changed in Strive is like Johnny, and all they really did was just get rid of.
You don't need to change perfection.
I guess they got rid of coin and.
Was May gutted?
No, May actually got more stuff.
May, every time I play Guilty Gear, no matter what Guilty Gear game is, if I run it into a May, they play like May as Guile for Guilty Gear, in the sense that she never changes.
I'm still trying to find reason to like play Sin. I was thinking about that man the other day. I was like, man, I love.
You have Nago. You don't need to.
I know, and like I know, like he's in my pocket. Like I played Sin when he came out, but I'm like, I just kind of miss what he used to do. And then I look at Nago, I'm like, man, I miss just killing people
anymore. Yeah, eating doesn't do anything for that character anymore.
Yeah. But he got a big buff for season 3, so I'll try him out.
Like maybe they should just buff the random effects for it. Like just embrace the funny.
I was thinking maybe because like I feel like he's a character where if you change something, it could either make him really good or really bad. Like I was thinking about what if they gave him like a 4th stamina bar because he's bounced by the fact that he needs stamina for anything. Yeah, but that might be
it'd definitely be too much. He'd have endless mix-ups without breaking the wall, I think.
But all his shit is minus unless he spends stamina.
Okay, but that's the same as giving Jamie like 1 less drink he has to do to get max.
Yeah, or like giving Nago another 4th of his blood bar.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because the way it is now, right? If he spends it all, if he cashes out, you're gonna get hurt. If he has more in his resources, if he has more saved up in his bank account, and he decides to blow it out on the stripper that is whoever he's fighting, they're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And like, I understand why you would want that, but you gotta understand that like Strive is closer to Street Fighter than it is Marvel.
I know. I thought about it and I was like, no, that's probably too good. I don't know.
I feel like if they like, cause you know, he gets like little effects when he eats food, right?
But they don't last long. They last for like 2 seconds. They don't last long.
If they lasted longer and they changed how he actually approached the fight, it could work. That's how Asuka works. His whole card, his deck, is like you're playing a card game. You have to work with what you got. So if they can implement those effects into how he plays, he would be better. Like if he got the extra damage one, maybe for that 2 seconds, he could cash out and just kill you.
I don't know. For 2 seconds?
Okay, maybe it lasts 5 seconds, right? And they buff like the healing one. Or they buff the one that gives him meter faster. It would change how you would play it, right? You probably keep eating until you got the one you want, leaving you more open up to like counterattack, right?
I'm thinking like what I really want to... They'd have to... I think for Eat to be really good, if they keep the random buffs, they'd have to definitely last longer, right? And I'm thinking, would I really want to give up Oki for 10 seconds of a potential damage boost?
I mean, yeah, but
I would honestly rather just have it just give me back a bar stamina or like half a bar stamina or something.
I feel like giving up Oki is something that works with characters. And like, I know I'm coming from like an angle of Street Fighter again, but like Ryu gives up Oki to charge his Denjin, and Denjin is a really useful tool. Jamie gives up Oki to get a drink in, and you need those. You know what I mean? Manon might possibly give up Oki to set up a better strike throw mix up so she can get a medal. I just feel like it's something you can play around with, but like I don't like the idea of him having a useless button. Yeah, like he just has a useless special move.
It just exists. It's just there.
Like it's there for the sake of it being part of the character.
You do it on accident.
All right. All that to say, I really hope it's not Venom. I don't care who else it is. I think that's a good place for us to close out for this episode.
That's fair. I think so too. Anything else you guys got? Well, you want to bring up, want to talk about? Closing thoughts?
Every weekend or so, I'm making a video on a YouTube channel called Goofy J. We'll play some Street Fighter, mastering matches, bet money on it. If y'all want to check that out, you can.
Word. Good talk. Good talk. Plug your socials if you want. You know where to find me. You can find me at JVO on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You can find me at Mad Mouse on Twitter or X, and you can find me at Mythical Mad Mouse on Instagram. With that being said, I hope to see you guys next time we do this.
Yeah, of course. And we'll be back with some more news. I actually got something pretty big and interesting planned for the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Peace out. Goodbye.
See you next time.